Hello everyone, this is Shivika. Welcome back to English class. Students, today I am going to continue this class with grammar and the topic is future tense. We have already discussed past tense and present tense in our previous video. So in this class we will start with future tense, under which comes simple future, future continuous, future perfect and future perfect continuous tense. So first of all we will start with simple future. What is the rule of simple future? It's very simple. First of all we will start with subject plus will or shall plus first form of the verb. For example, he will come here tomorrow. Another example is we shall go to England in the next week. With I and we use shall, and with other subjects we use will.
Future tense. There are some points about future tense. And the rule for it is subject plus will or shall plus first form of the verb. The simple future tense is formed with will or shall plus base form. Base form is first form of the verb. With I and we, either will or shall can be used. With other subjects, will is used, not shall. It means we can use either will or shall with I and we, but with other subjects we will use will, not shall. We use this tense to talk about the future. So there are some examples of future tense. First is I shall be 12 next Saturday. We shall know the result in a week. It will be Holi in a week. So these are some examples of future tense. First example is I shall be 12 next Saturday. Here we can use either will or shall. I shall be 12 next Saturday. Next is we shall know the result in a week. Here we can use either will or shall. Next is it will be Holi in a week. For it we will use will. So with I and we can use shall, and with other subjects we use will.
Let us understand better with the help of some exercise. The verbs in the following sentences are in used simple past tense. Change them to the simple future tense. First sentence is we went to the beach yesterday. We, with we, I and we will use shall. So first sentence is we went to the beach yesterday. तो we और I के साथ हम shall यूज़ करते हैं और बाकी जो भी सब्जेक्ट्स हैं उसके साथ हम will यूज़ करेंगे. तो यहाँ पर we है तो हम we के साथ shall यूज़ करेंगे. We went to the beach yesterday. Yesterday की बात हो रही है, इसे हमें future tense में change करना है. It means simple future tense. So the correct answer will be we shall go to the beach tomorrow. For yesterday we will use tomorrow. Come to the next one. My uncle arrived yesterday. Here we will use will. So the correct answer will be my uncle will arrive. For yesterday we will use tomorrow because it is in the future tense, simple future tense. Okay. So my uncle will arrive tomorrow. Come to the next one. We saw the movie last night. For last night we will use tonight. Okay. In future tense. So here with we will use shall. We shall see the movie tonight. Next is I returned the books last week. For last week we will use next week, and with I we will use shall, not will. Okay. So I shall return the books next week. This is the correct answer. Next is we wrote a test yesterday afternoon. Yesterday afternoon. Here we will use this afternoon. Okay. We है तो we के साथ हम shall का use करेंगे. So the correct answer will be we shall write. wrote लिखा है past tense की form है, इसे हमें future tense में change करेंगे तो क्या होगा? write होगा. So we shall write a test this afternoon. क्योंकि क्या होता है इसमें first form of the verb use होती है. वर्ब की फर्स्ट फॉर्म जो होगी वही यूज करेंगे. सो वी शैल राइट अ टेस्ट दिस आफ्टरनून. नेक्स्ट इज Paul flew to London last Monday. Last Monday we will use next Monday. Paul flew. Flew का फर्स्ट फॉर्म क्या होगा? Fly. And with Paul we will use will. So the correct answer will be Paul will fly to London next Monday. The correct answer will be Paul will fly to London next Monday. The next is future continuous tense. What is the rule of future continuous tense and when we use it? It's very simple. We use future continuous tense when we are talking about ongoing actions in the future, and the rule for it is subject plus will be or shall be plus verb. Here we will use ing form with it, okay, because it is a continuous tense. So with continuous we will use subject plus will be or shall be plus ing form with the verb. For example, Eric will be running a marathon this Sunday. Another example is they will be making preparations for their exams. So this is an ongoing action in the future.
Future continuous tense. What is the rule of future continuous tense? Subject with will be or shall be plus ing form with the verb. Here we will use ing form with the verb. So read the following sentences. First is I will be eating pancakes for breakfast tomorrow. Another is Ryan will be staying with us during the vacations. Next is will you not be willing to join us for dinner? Another is this time next week I will be skiing in Switzerland. The underlined words in the sentences above are in future continuous tense. From the given examples, we can understand that the future continuous tense is used to show an action that can be expected to happen later. Next point is, it can be used to project or predict the possible actions to be taken in the future. Next is, it can be used to arrive at a decision by asking a question using the negative form. Okay? So, in general case, I am talking about in general cases. In general cases, we use will be plus verb plus ing when writing a sentence in future continuous tense. In general cases, we use will be plus verb plus ing form with the verb when writing a sentence in future continuous tense. Let us understand better with the help of some exercise. Use the verbs given in the brackets to complete the sentences in future continuous tense. Use the verbs given in the brackets to complete the sentences in future continuous tense. And the rule for it is subject plus will be or shall be plus ing form with the verb. Verb ki ing form. So let's start. First sentence is I dash at the resort this time the following week, and the verb is stay. For stay, we will use ing form. It will be staying, and with I, we will use shall. So the correct answer will be I shall be staying at the resort this time the following week. Come to the next one. The ship will be sailing in an hour, and the verb is sail. So for sail, we will use ing form with it. It will be sailing. So the correct answer will be the ship will be sailing in an hour. For ship, we will use will be sailing. Okay. Next is father will be watching the news at 10 o'clock. Verb is watch. For watch, we will use ing form with it. It will be watching. And for father, we will use will, not shall. Okay. So the correct answer will be father will be watching the news at 10 o'clock. Come to the next one. The group dash acrobatics tomorrow night, and the verb is perform. For perform, we will use ing form with it. It will be performing. The group, for the group, we will use will be. So the correct answer is the group will be performing acrobatics tomorrow night. Next is shall we not dash out at 7, and the verb is go. For go, we will use ing form with it. It will be going. And with we will use shall. So the correct answer is shall we not be going out at 7. Next is the baby dash in a month. And the verb is walk. For walk, we will use ing form with it. It will be walking. And the baby, for the baby, we will use will be, not shall. Okay? So the correct answer is the baby will be walking in a month. Next is we dash for Taiwan next Monday. And the verb is leave. For leave, we will use ing form with it. It will be leaving. With we use shall be. So the correct answer is we shall be leaving for Taiwan next Monday. Next is I dash at the university by the end of April. And the verb is study. For study, we will use studying. And with I, we use shall. In future continuous tense, shall be. Okay? So the correct answer is I shall be studying at the university by the end of April. So these are some examples of future continuous tense. So these are some examples of future continuous tense. It is used to show an action that can be expected to happen later. It can be used to project or predict the possible actions to be taken in the future. It can be used to arrive at a decision by asking a question using the negative form. Okay? So here, in future continuous tense, we use will be plus verb plus ing when writing a sentence in a future continuous tense.
Come to the next one, future perfect tense. What is the rule of future perfect tense and when we use it? It's very simple. We will use future perfect tense when we are talking about completed actions in the future. An action which will be completed in the future. And the rule for it is subject plus will have or shall have plus third form of the verb. Here we will use third form of the verb because it is a perfect tense, okay? So for perfect we will use third form of the verb. So the rule is subject plus will have or shall have plus third form of the verb. For example, mom will have cooked our favorite meal. Another example is the plant will have grown by then. So this is a completed action in a future. Come to the next one, that is future perfect continuous tense. What is the rule of future perfect continuous tense and when we use it? It's very simple. Have a look. We use future perfect continuous tense when we are talking about ongoing actions in the future, but when the duration is also mentioned. And the rule for it is subject plus will have been plus verb. Here we will use ing form with the verb. So the rule for it is subject plus will have been or shall have been plus verb. With verb we will use ing form with it, okay? And there are some examples of future perfect continuous tense. Have a look. At 5 o'clock I shall have been waiting for 30 minutes. Another example is in November I working at my company for 3 years. So here the duration is mentioned like 3 years, 30 minutes. This is the duration. Now come to the next topic, that is use of going to. गोइंग टू का यूज़ हम कब करते हैं, कहाँ करते हैं, कैसे करते हैं, ये सारी चीज़ें हम इस टॉपिक में देखेंगे. सो लेट्स स्टार्ट. वी यूज़ गोइंग टू इंस्टीड ऑफ विल और शैल इन द फॉलोइंग सिचुएशंस. कुछ सिचुएशंस ऐसी होती हैं, कुछ परिस्थितियाँ ऐसी होती हैं जहाँ पर हम विल या शैल की जगह गोइंग टू का यूज़ करते हैं. तो वो सिचुएशंस कौन कौन सी हैं, वो रूल्स कौन कौन से हैं जहाँ पर हम गोइंग टू का यूज़ करेंगे. लेट्स स्टार्ट. फर्स्ट रूल इज़ फॉर प्लान्स और डिसीजंस मेड बिफोर स्पीकिंग. इट मीन्स बोलने से पहले अगर हम कोई प्लान या डिसीजन के बारे में शो कर रहे हैं तो वहाँ पर हम विल या शैल का यूज़ ना करके बेटर होता है कि हम गोइंग टू यूज़ करते हैं. लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड बेटर विद द हेल्प ऑफ सम एग्जाम्पल्स. फर्स्ट इज विकी कमिंग होम सून. येस, आई एम गोइंग टू मीट हिम एट द एयरपोर्ट टुमारो. हियर वी विल यूज़ गोइंग टू फॉर्म. Next is I am going to watch TV in a minute because my favorite movie is on. I am going to watch TV. Here we will use going to form. Let's take one more example. Do you have any plans for the party? We are going to sing at the party. Here we will use again going to form, okay? Now come to the next rule, that is to make predictions about the future based on present evidence. गोइंग टू का यूज़ हम प्रेडिक्शन देने के लिए कर सकते हैं या फिर फ्यूचर में होने वाले या फ्यूचर के बेस पर अगर हम प्रेजेंट टाइम में कोई एविडेंस दे रहे हैं, कोई साक्ष्य प्रस्तुत कर रहे हैं, तो वहाँ पर भी हम विल या शैल के बजाय गोइंग टू का यूज़ कर सकते हैं। लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड बेटर विद द हेल्प ऑफ सम एग्जाम्पल्स। हैव अ लुक एट द स्काई, इट्स गोइंग टू रेन टुनाइट। यहाँ आसमान की तरफ इशारा करके बारिश के बारे में बताया जा रहा है। तो जहाँ एविडेंस दिया जा रहा है या प्रेडिक्शन किया जा रहा है, वहाँ हम विल या शैल का यूज़ ना करके गोइंग टू फॉर्म यूज़ करेंगे। लेट्स टेक वन मोर एग्जाम्पल। Germany have just scored, England is going to lose again. Here we will use again going to form. Come to the next one. There have been no rain for long. There is going to be a drought soon. Here we will use again going to form. So these are some rules which you have to write in your notebook, and you have to learn and write the forms of verbs like first form, second form and third form. When we use eat, when we use ate and when we use eaten, you have to learn and you have to write in your notebook also all the forms of the verb. Let us understand better with the help of some exercise. Fill in the blanks with will, are, going to.
Fill in the blanks with will, are, going to. Are you watching the game? It's 5-2. She is going to win the match. Here we will use is going to. Are you watching the game? It's 5-2. She is going to win the match. Come to the next one. Next is I think you will like this book. Here we will use will. I think you will like this book. Let's take one more sentence. We will get married very soon. We will get married very soon. Here we will use will. We will get married very soon. Come to the next one. I can't join you at the party. I shall be away next week. Here we will use shall be away next week. So the answer is I can't join you at the party. I shall be away next week. Let's take one more sentence. Have you heard? Neha is going to have a baby soon. Here we will use Neha is going to. Here we will use going to form. Have you heard? Neha is going to have a baby soon. Next is this exercise looks hard. I will help you. Here we will use will. This exercise looks hard. I will help you. Now I am going to repeat it one more time. First answer is going to form. Second is will. Third is will. Fourth is shall. Fifth is going to form. Next is will.
Let's take one more exercise. Make going to sentence with the following. First sentence is they and the verb is eat stew for dinner. So here we will use they are going to eat stew for dinner. Next is I wear blue dress for the party. Here we will use I am going to wear blue dress for the party. Next is we dash you. Here we will use we are not going to help you. Next is Jill and the verb is not or walk. So here we will use Jill is not going to walk home. Next is you are cook dinner. Here we will use are you going to cook dinner and question mark. Next is Sumit not share his chocolate. So here we will use Sumit is not going to share his chocolate. Next is leave they the house. Here we will use are they going to leave the house and question mark. Next is she take part in the contest. So the correct answer will be with going to. The answer is she is going to take part in the contest. So the correct answer will be is she going to take part in the contest and question mark. So with this we come to the end of the lesson and I hope that you all understood it. Till then I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.